thing I want to show you guys today is the inside of this greenhouse. You can see the bubbling effect there of the double wall greenhouse with the blower running, and I just wanted to give you guys a little tour of what's happening in here right now, and it's pretty cool. We've got lots of production right now. We've been harvesting in here. So Mark has already harvested, he harvested this bed here yesterday. He harvested half of that bed over there a couple weeks ago, and we've got some regrowth coming back in there, starting to come back. And we've got we've got 4.5 nice thick beds of lettuce here, and they're kind of increasing their yield as time goes on. So the first bed that Mark harvested was a light yield because it wasn't as mature, but now these are growing pretty consistently that by the time we harvest another one of these beds, it should be about 40 pounds per bed. The target, of course, is 50 pounds per 50-foot bed, and in the summer in our main growing season, that's what we yield on Salanova beds. We get 1 pound per linear foot of bed, so that's the target. And you know, lesson learned there is we could have planted it earlier. Having said that, we were kind of pushing it to the max on getting this greenhouse up in time, getting the stuff planted before the greenhouse is even up, and you know, go back on the vlogs in October and you'll see that whole process. Eventually I'll make a video piecing together with the construction of this greenhouse, but that's going to take a bit of time. It's quite a bit of a edit job putting all those videos together. So now that we're in here, I just want to give you guys a little tour of how this thing is set up, and right now I'm very satisfied on how it's been running. So we've got electrical in this greenhouse. We've got I believe it's a 40 amp we've got a 30 and a 15 amp. Oh, so we've got a total of 60 amps coming into this greenhouse. We've got a plug here that's for the fans that are running, and for the blower, well, actually the blower is on its own breaker. One of these guys here, this little one here, that's the blower. So that's running 24/7. And we've got this heater. So this is the exact same heater that is in the nursery, and this is a 6,000 watt heater. And so the idea with this thing, and just the idea with this greenhouse, is not to keep it warm per se, it's to keep it above freezing, because during the day, as soon as the sun starts to come up like it is right now, it warms up pretty fast because the greenhouse is very insulated with our insulation all around the bottom, as well as the double layer poly running. So it's insulated, and so the heater is basically there to just run during the evening or when it gets cool. And so my whole objective with this greenhouse is to keep it at 5 degrees Celsius, which is about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And so I've got a high-low thermometer here that I just reset. So last night it actually got down below 5. It got down to 3 degrees Celsius, and that's because it was -2 Celsius last night. So the Fahrenheit conversion for that is -3 is about 28 degrees Fahrenheit, and so it got to about 38 degrees Fahrenheit in here last night, and that's okay as long as I can keep it above freezing, then I'm pretty safe. But you know what, even if we got to freezing in here, this lettuce would be fine. It's when you get down really cold, like say -15 Celsius, that you're gonna have some crop loss. And the whole idea with this greenhouse is that I want to just keep the production alive. It's not necessarily that I'm going to be planting and continuously planting in this greenhouse. These crops are already established, and that's the big idea or the main idea with winter farming, is that you have crops that get set in the anywhere between the late summer to the late fall, and you keep those crops alive throughout the winter, because things just don't grow in the same way in the winter as they do in the main season unless you supplement light and put in a lot of inputs. And so if you're doing minimal inputs, you're relying on the light that you have available, and right now we're at about 8 hours of daylight. So that's not a lot for things to grow quickly. though with the supplemental heat, it is enough for them to grow a little bit. But if I were to direct seed a crop in here right now, it would take a long time to mature. It probably wouldn't be mature until February, so it's not really worth it. But you can even see I've got a half bed here of red Russian kale and tatsoi. If you guys check out the video I did direct seeding with the Jang seeder, I'll put the link up here. You can see me plant that, and so I direct seeded that. It was sometime in October. I think the greenhouse is mostly up at that point. And this crop is probably ready to harvest in a couple weeks. So continuing on here, so that was our heater. While I was gone, Mark installed these 2 fans, and so these fans are exactly the same as the fans that I just showed you in the nursery. And what he's done is he's put a couple sheets of coroplast, so that's just corrugated plastic, above them to keep any water dripping from dripping on them. And we've done the same thing with that heater too. I've put a piece of plywood above it so that there's no water dripping in, messing with the electronics and potentially causing a fire. So what we've got here is 1 fan here and 1 fan back here. And the basic idea is we're just running air down the center, and then it's going to split. The circulation pattern is going to be sort of 2 oval patterns running to the outside of the greenhouse. And I can feel it even when I'm not standing in front of the fans. I can feel the circulation coming this way coming around as it circles. So pretty effective so far. They're basically just going to circulate the heat and just keep a basic amount of airflow in here so that we don't run into problems with fungus. And so far so good. I mean, I look at the soil, everything's covered in landscape fabric, and I even remember at the beginning of setting this up it would have been early October when things were growing, it was pretty much finished. I saw some fungus on the soil underneath the fabrics, and so far that hasn't been an issue for the crop. We've been harvesting, the crops look good healthy crop, and that air circulation is definitely helping with that. Alright, well that's our update for the day. I hope you guys have found that helpful. If you want to see more stuff like this, please hit the subscribe button right now. Like and share these videos with your friends, and check out my website at theurbanfarmer.co, where you've got links to various workshops, events that I've got coming up. I'm going to be in New Zealand on February 4th until about the 18th. We're teaching a 1-day workshop in New Plymouth, and we're teaching a 4-day workshop at Roebuck Farm, which has limited tickets, so sign up quick. I think we're already almost close to sold out, so get on there quick and sign up if you want to attend. It's going to be a rare event. Teaching at Roebuck Farm, we're going to have all the tools there. We're going to have walk behind tractors. You're going to see everything as you would see it on my farm, so it's a very rare opportunity. And it's a new format that I'm moving to teaching. I'm going to be teaching similar workshops on my farm this season, and I'll have information up about that soon enough. But if you guys want to make a donation to the show, you can do that at theurbanfarmer.co/support. It's much appreciated and always welcome. Helps me to take the time to make videos like this off the farm, take the time off the farm, as well as upgrade camera equipment and things like this that help make the quality of these videos better for you. All right, we'll talk to you soon.